Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you again today. I hope you enjoyed our lesson yesterday. Just before we get started today, I thought it would be very helpful if we went over some of the things that we did yesterday because there will be some connections with that in our lesson today. And so, one of the key things we were talking about yesterday was, who can remember? Yes, we were talking about team sports and health, and fitness. The key things around that fitness side of things, yes, we were looking at going to the gym and different types of exercises that you would do in the gym. And what did we focus on most of our lesson? Yes, we looked at a particular team sport. And does anyone remember what that was? Yes, soccer. What's the other name that soccer is known as for those of us who come from Scotland and the United Kingdom? Yes, we call it soccer, or we call it football, sorry. Okay, so what kind of other things did we talk about around that element of football? Yeah, we talked about team sport. We talked about different roles within the team. And does anyone know, or can they remind me what kind of key roles we concentrated on during our talk? Yeah, we talked about the goalkeeper. We talked about, yes, the striker and the defender. All very important roles. What were the other roles that we talked about, as well as the people who are playing on the football pitch? What other members of a football setting did we talk about? Yes, we talked about the officials and the referee, the linesman, team manager, and how did we end our lesson? Part of our ending of the lesson was quite a fun activity. Yes, we had a football game that we all got involved in, and we were using our beanbag. Now, if you recall, the reason that we played that game was so that we could actually go ahead and win the title of a very important local league game. All right, so we did come out of that winners, I'm pleased to say. And what I'd like to do today is to start to think about following on from that win, how we would celebrate, because it's normal after a victorious event of winning such a prestigious, that is a very well thought of award such as the local league, for you to go out and want to go out and celebrate. So what I'd like you to do is to split into pairs and speak to each other about how you would like to celebrate that wonderful win of the soccer football game that we had during yesterday's class. Okay, so if you go into pairs, please, and think about how you would celebrate, where you would go, who would you celebrate with, would you invite anyone outside of the team, and who would that be? All right, what are your favourite places to go and things to do when you're celebrating something important? All right, so I'll just give you 2 minutes to very quickly think that through, and I will write some of your suggestions on the whiteboard when we come back together again. Thank you. 2 minutes. Okay, so hopefully during our discussions, one of you will have come up with a suggestion for celebrating with them eating out in a restaurant, which is the theme of our class today. All right, so we will be thinking about, and by the end of the lesson today, in fact, you will be learning about restaurants, eating out in restaurants, and the various types of cuisine, that is cooking traditions from different parts of the world and different cultures. You'll be able to read a menu and correctly identify and use adjectives to describe the various types of meals that you would generally associate or think about connecting to these different cultural traditions. And by the end of the lesson, you'll be able to demonstrate that knowledge and understanding of these elements of the menu by engaging in a conversation. Okay, we'll come back and go into pairs where each of you will role play. One of you will become the diner and one of you will become a waiter in a restaurant. And so you will have a conversation where one of you, the diner, will order a meal and you will be asking the waiter to describe different aspects of the food. It could be colour, flavour, ingredients, types of meat or vegetarian products in the meal. All right, so just to start us off, I thought it would be helpful to think about some of these elements. So, can anyone please tell me what country this food is generally associated with? Yes, thank you. Yes, India. And what kind of food are we seeing here in these photographs? Yes, we're seeing curry, naan bread, and samosas, commonly associated with the Indian cooking tradition. What about these? Which country are these food types commonly associated with? Yes, Japan. And what are we seeing here? Different types of sushi. Thank you, yes. And what about these foodstuffs? What country would we normally associate with these foods? Yes, thank you. That's Italy. And can anyone tell me what we're seeing here? Yes, we have pizza and different types of pasta. One of them is red with a tomato base, and one of them is a light cream coloured with a creamy base sauce. This is slightly more challenging to possibly identify. Can anyone guess what country this food is associated with? Yes, it's Scotland, which is where I'm from. So we have food that's commonly linked to Burns Night for Robert Burns, a world famous poet. And this is potatoes, haggis and turnip. We in Scotland refer to it as haggis, neeps and tatties, washed down with a beautiful single malt whisky. And we have some wonderful salmon, which Scotland is quite famous for. And another real delicacy you may not have come across before, that Scotland is very famous for, and that is a deep fried Mars bar. All right, and hopefully you'll get a chance to try at least some of these foods that we're talking about today in our end of session, our meal that we will be undertaking at the end of the week, where we'll all come together with real food from different parts of the world that you'll be asked to bring in. Okay, so just quickly, if anyone can please tell me and show me on the map where these countries are in the world that we've been discussing. Can anyone remember the names of the countries, the food that we've been talking about? Yes, India, yeah, thank you. And Japan, thank you. And Italy, yes, where is that? Thank you. And the last one was Scotland, yes. Thank you very much. All right, let's move on to the rest of the class.